Hi, good morning, all. How are you, champions? I hope all are good. As I am your new teacher and I am teaching you all subject science on 8th standard. Yes, without wasting much time, we have to discuss and revise last year portion. Yes, means a bridge course. In this video, children, what I am teaching is very important on your 8th class. Yes, come, let us revise those things. Okay. So, first of all, in your last year's 7th standard science textbook, the first chapter, part 1 is nutrition in a plants. Yes. Tell me, children, what is the meaning of nutrition? Okay. I will be saying that food that you have taken, that food contains lots and lots of healthy components. So, children, now question arises, what are components? Yes, components means the fats, carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, and lots of components means fibers, minerals, water, etc. These are all together components we called as what? Nutrients. Yes. Now tell me, children, what are nutrients means? The fats, carbohydrates, proteins, vitamins, and fibers, minerals, water, these are all called as what? Nutrients. Yes. Now, I will tell you, how do we get the nutrients? Yes, the main source of we get the nutrients is from food. Yes. When we take all these nutrients will be absorbed by the body or utilized by body, and this process are simply called as what? Nutrition. Yes. There are now two types of nutrition. Champions, there are two types of nutrition. That is, first one is autotrophic nutrition and the second one is heterotrophic nutrition. So what is autotrophic nutrition, children? The name itself says auto means automatic. The things or organisms that can make food by their own we call as autotrophic nutrition. That's very best example and one and only example is plants. Plants will prepare their food by own or itself. And as we know, the easier equation how we get the food and the plants will prepare their own food means the carbon dioxide plus water means H2O in the source of sunlight and in the presence of chlorophyll. This is very important, children, that chlorophyll, and we get the nutrient or food. It is in the form of what, children? Glucose. Yes. Plants storing their food, fruits and leaves, in the form of what? Starch. Yes. And next one, what is a heterotrophic nutrition? The second thing. Yes, heterotrophic nutrition means I will given here the examples here, humans and animals. Now guess, children, what is a heterotrophic nutrition? Yes, heterotrophic nutrition is nothing but which cannot make their food by own. Yes or no? They will depend on others, means which cannot make their own food depends upon the other organisms. Such type of nutritions are called as what, children? Heterotropic nutrition. Yes. Now will you understand the examples, humans and animals? Yes. Next, we have to come to know the next. Welcome back, dear students, on this second video. Earlier on this, we discussed about 7th standard science, and coming to the next concept is a fiber to fabric. And there are two fibers, namely natural fiber and a synthetic fiber. Natural means name itself says that from nature, and there are two examples. We can say that plants and animals. From plants we will get cotton and jute, and animals we will get wool and silk. And another type one is a synthetic fiber. So synthetic fiber means it is a man-made, or we human beings, people made it fibers. Yes. Next concept is heat, and the heat is a instrument, that is thermometer, namely that was a clinical thermometer. Thermometer is nothing but used to measure the temperature, and we know that clinical temperature, the thermometer in some clinics and hospitals, and this is it, and it's 35 degree and to 42 degree, and it is a middle one is a mercury, and this one is a needle shows that inside the mercury, and the human temperature, the normal human temperature is a 37.2 degree Celsius. Yes. Next, coming to the concept is acid and bases. So acid and bases, or generally we call acid or sour in taste, and a base or bitter in taste. And there are in this concept the name is indicators. Indicators means there are two types of indicators, means a litmus paper and a gastric juice, like that. And indicators, the litmus paper, we called it as a natural litmus paper, and there are two types, namely red litmus and blue litmus. And what are indicators means these checks whether the solution is acid or base. And I earlier said that there are red litmus and blue litmus means if red litmus turns to the blue litmus means the solution is base, and the blue litmus turns into red litmus means the solution is acid. A neutral solution means there no changes occurs in that solution. And next concept is respiration in organisms. Okay, respiration in organisms. Yes, champions, this is a very important concept for respiration, and it is very important to us also. In respiration, energy is released. Yes, there are again the two types of respiration. One is aerobic respiration, and another one is anaerobic respiration. So aerobic means it is nothing but in the presence of air or oxygen. We the people, that humans and animals, we respire with the presence of oxygen or air. And anaerobic means yes, of course, anaerobic means absence of oxygen or yeast. There is, I can say the example is yeast and microorganisms. Yes, and we have the again the simple food chain equation for respire, that food, and in the presence of oxygen and carbon dioxide plus energy plus water. Another type is food in the presence of they will prepare in the absence of oxygen, they produce alcohol plus energy plus carbon. Yes, breathing in other animals, we can say cockroach breathe with the help of spiracles, and earthworm with the help of skin, and fish in the help of gills. And earthworm, the skin is very liquid, and the fish it dissolves in oxygen in water. It respire with the help of the gills. And now come to the transportation in plants and animals. Means the concept is blood. Yes, the blood in our body is a main thing, and it is a main transportation thing in our body. And there are three components in blood, namely RBC, WBC, and platelets. And RBC, there will be hemoglobin, and WBC that will work with fight against germs and bacteria, and the platelets will help us with the blood clotting. Yes. Now the next concept is a very important concept, is light, and this chapter is continued in 8th standard also. And listen carefully, students. The light. What is a light? Means light is a form of energy which helps us to see the objects. Yes, when light falls on the objects, students, it reflects, and then reflected light reaches our eyes. Then we see what the objects. Yes, and we can say the properties of light means yes, light, it is an electromagnetic wave, and it does not require any medium, and light tends to travel in a very straight line. Means rectilinear propagation. Means recti means exactly, and linear means a very straight line, and it has a dual nature, and the light casts the shadow, and the speed of light in a vacuum we can say that 3 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second, and this is very important. And there are two types of object we can see, or sources we can see. One is a luminous and another one is a luminous. Luminous means emit lights. The source of light which emits the light, means example here sun and a candle, and sun and candle, there are sources which can emit the lights here. And non-luminous means they do not emit the light. And what are the examples, friends? There are tree, chair, and etc. They are not emit the light. Yes. So I will ask you one question, students. Are we human luminous or non-luminous? Yes. Yes, we are luminous of light or non-luminous of light, human beings. Yes. Luminous. Humans are luminous. How I tell you? We emits light, but we can't see in naked eye. But some infrared cameras we will see 1000 intensity, that 1000 intensity, low intensity of light, very less. We can see that we humans emit the light. And now the second question: what about moon? If the moon is luminous or non-luminous? Yes, moon is a non-luminous. It will not emit the light. It will just act as a reflected light with the help of the sun. See, I can tell you here, the sun means the moon is there, and this sun ray just reflects on appears on this moon, and it just reflects to our earth, and means the moon is a non-luminous source, and it will just reflected with the help of what? Sun. Yes, I earlier said that when light falls on surface, that two phenomena will happen. One is a reflection of light, another one is a refraction of light. So what is a reflection of light? See, reflection of light means when light bounce back after strikes a polished surface, means the bouncing back of a ray of light we can call as a reflection of light. Yes, the phenomena of a bouncing back of ray of light when it incident on a polished surface. Yes, I will show you here one experiment here. This is a plain mirror. The incident ray appears and it bounces back with the reflected ray, and this angle of incidence and angle of refractions are both what here? Equal. This is the refraction of a light concept. And the angle of incidence is equal to the angle of a reflection. The incident ray, the reflected ray, and the normal ray. The normal ray all are lie on the this was a same point. This is a concept of a reflection of light. And what about a refraction of light? Yes, the refraction of light means the phenomena of bending of ray of light when it enters from one medium to another medium. See here, the ray of light is bending from entering one medium to another medium. It changes its path, its air medium to water medium. Yes, this bending phenomena we call it as what? A refraction of light. And a refraction means it will transparent, means light will passes on the surface and it allows the light on the passes the ray of light. We call it as a refraction of a light. And next concept is a mirror and a lens. Yes, they namely said that there are mirror and lens is a lens. The one is a convex lens and another one is a concave lens. So convex lens means it is thicker on the middle and thinner at the edges, and it has a converging property and it has a real and a image. And what about a concave lens means it is look like a cave shape and it will be thicker at the edges and the thinner at the middle. And here when we light passes it meets at the one point, but in the concave lens the diverging property and virtual image is formed. It will not meet at one point. It will what happens here? It will diverges. That's it, students, and we recall all the concepts what we learned in the last year 7th standard science. Yes, and study well, be safe, stay in home.